Hey there, film score fans. Today I'd like to look at a lesser-known work from Steven Spielberg and John Williams, 1989's Always. This was kind of a vanity project for the star Richard Dreyfuss and Spielberg, dating all the way back to 1975 when they were working together on Jaws. They found that they both shared an intense love for a 1943 Spencer Tracy movie, A Guy Named Joe, which is about an Air Force pilot who is shot down, sent to heaven, and then comes back as a kind of guardian angel for a young pilot, and having to stand idly by to watch that young pilot fall in love with his previous love. The plot is essentially the same for the movie Always, except they've updated it except from the war to daredevil firefighting pilots in the Pacific Northwest. There's some really lovely musical moments in this film, but also some good Spielbergian gags and set pieces. There's a great long lens shot of sleepy fishermen with the great bomber coming in right behind them on the lake. There's another scene where Holly Hunter just professes her love to Dreyfuss right before he dies, and he's yelling to her, "I love you," back over the din of the propellers, but she can't hear, but she knows. Also, the charred black remains of a forest as a stand-in for heaven is just a lovely artistic choice in this movie. Don't discount this Williams score as light fare from a movie that you had never heard of. It's a spiritual cousin to E.T., not just in the soaring flight motives, but also just the light celeste and harp portions. The synth pad mysticism of the Fortress of Solitude from Superman, I think you'll hear for sure. And don't call me crazy, but when I listen to this score, I also have a little bit of a twinge of, I think this might be what a Star Trek score from John Williams might sound like. That contemplative, but, you know, something's going on, Star Trek vibe. I think might flow through this. You tell me. This score is filled with portions that remind me of Vaughan Williams, kind of nice modal moments, you know, low, and then being very straightforward harmonically. I think it reminds me of Copland, specifically the opening to Appalachian Spring. Give that a listen. Let me know in the comments if you agree. This lovely arrangement is actually from the 1991 Spielberg collaboration CD that Williams produced and conducted with the Boston Pops. And generally, I'm an OST, original soundtrack, purist. I don't particularly like the Prague re-recordings, Prague Symphony re-recordings of things, unless they show you portions of the score that you've never heard before that aren't available on soundtrack. But John Williams is somebody to break this rule with, because he very often is arranging new concert suites of these works, which is the case here, which has some of the same thematic material, but sometimes different orchestrations. It's mulling around in his brain, and he's an artist. It comes from him again. I'd highly recommend the Anne-Sophie Mutter violin solo arrangements. It's an album of a couple of years ago. Just a real discovery. Wonderful stuff. As is this. Let's give it a listen. The Always theme by John Williams. Always by John Williams. Thank you for listening. This is a patron-supported channel. Thank you to all of my patrons over there. I have a lot of exclusive content that I put up over there. But thanks for tuning in here. Let me know what you think of this score, and thanks for tuning in as always.